Hey guys, so we are back. I'm not sure you could hear any of that beforehand, so we're just going to go ahead and start the class over. Again, this is Power Yoga, and my name is Lana. Today we're going to have a really nice flow with some core strength. Sorry, I can hear myself playing back to me and it's messing with my head. So we're going to go ahead and meet a child's pose position. Sitting back, knees nice and wide, walking the hands forward, bringing the forehead down to the mat. And just beginning to become aware of the breath. Becoming aware of the inhale and the exhale. On your next inhale, beginning to walk the hands over to the right side, feeling a nice stretch in the left side body. If you can't feel that stretch, try pressing into the palm of the hand to lift the left forearm up off the mat, bringing a little more awareness to that side and to that left shoulder. And we are here for 2 breaths. On your next inhale, begin to walk the hands back through center and exhale over to the left side. Again, pressing into that right side body. Maybe pressing into the hand, lifting the forearm up off the mat. Taking 2 more breaths here. And on the exhale, walking back through center. Bringing a little more awareness into the upper body. On the inhale, press into the palms of the hands to lift the forearms up off the mat, pressing into the shoulders. If you'd like to take this a little bit farther, begin to press into the finger pads to lift the palms of the hands up off the mat, coming onto spider fingers. And on your next exhale, release back down, taking 2 more deep breaths in this child's pose. And on your next inhale, begin to walk the hands, coming into a nice seated position, sitting back on the legs. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can feel free to sit cross-legged on your mat. But if it is comfortable, go ahead and just sit back on these knees. On the inhale, begin to reach the arms up. And exhale over to the right side, bringing the right hand down to the mat, side stretch. Inhale back up through center. And exhale to the left side, coming into a left side stretch. Moving through this at your own breath. Making a nice dynamic movement. And moving with the breath. If it's comfortable, feel free to close your eyes here. We're going to take about 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, meeting back up through center, bringing the hands down over your chest in namaste, coming up a little to tuck the toes under. And then on the exhale, sitting back, stretching out the toes, stretching out the bottom of the feet. If this is uncomfortable, feel free to come out of it. We are going to be here for about 5 breaths. Making sure to fill the belly, fill the lungs, fill the chest on every inhale. And on the exhale, completely release. Maybe taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today if you haven't done so already. Continuing to move with the breath here. On your next exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, untuck the toes, and come into a nice tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, moving into our dynamic cat-cow. On the inhale, moving into cow. Send the hips back, bring the chest forward. And on the exhale, moving into our high Halloween cat, round through the spine, release the neck. And continuing with that dynamic movement, moving through this at your own breath. Gently warming up the spine, doing whatever feels good for you in this moment. We're going to take about 4 more breaths here. Be adding in some side to side motion with the hips, doing whatever feels good for your body in this moment. Meeting back in a neutral tabletop on your next exhale, we'll be moving into thread the needle. So putting more weight into the left hand. On the inhale, reach the right arm up. And on the exhale, bring the right shoulder down to the mat. Thread that arm through. On the inhale, bringing the left arm up into the sky. And maybe wrapping it around the body to come into a slight twist. On every exhale, allowing that right shoulder to sink deeper into the mat. We're here for 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, take that left arm back up into the sky and send it forward towards the front of your mat, coming up onto spider fingers, reaching that left arm forward, pressing through the finger pads, pressing through the left shoulder. And on your next inhale, gently dropping that left palm back down to the mat and sliding the hand back, using the left arm to press the right back up and returning that right hand back down to the mat. Same thing on the other side, more weight into the right hand. On the inhale, lifting the left arm up, and exhale, threading it through. Right hand comes up to the sky, and if you'd like, you can wrap it behind the back, coming into a deeper twist. Again, on every exhale, allowing yourself to sink deeper into this stretch, to sink deeper into the mat. On your next inhale, begin to reach the right arm back up into the sky. And on the exhale, send the palm towards the mat, towards the front of the room, coming up onto spider fingers. Pressing into the finger pads, pressing into that right shoulder. And on your next exhale, release back down to the palm of the hand. Slide that right arm back and use it to press yourself back up, replacing that left hand back on the mat. Coming into a nice bird dog to help continue keeping that with that warmness of the body. We are going to bring the right arm forward. The left foot will come back. On the inhale, squeeze the glute to lift the leg up. This is our neutral bird dog. Now, if you'd like, you can come into some bird dog crunches by bringing the right elbow to the left knee, pausing here, and exhale to extend. Again, inhale, elbow to knee, and exhale to extend, continuing to move with this at your own dynamic pace, making sure that left shoulder is on top of that left wrist, continuing to squeeze that back left glute, and reaching through and extending through the spine, reaching through the fingertips and that dorsiflexed foot. Moving through with 2 more breaths. And on the next exhale, returning that right hand back down to the mat, as well as that left knee. Shaking the hips from side to side. And preparing to do that bird dog on the other side. So on the inhale, left arm comes forward. Back right foot comes back and squeeze that right glute to lift the leg up. Neutral bird dog. And if you'd like, on the inhale, you can begin to bring the left elbow towards that right knee. And exhale to extend. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale to extend. And continue this with your own breath pace. Continuing to squeeze that back right glute on the extension. Engage the core on the crunch. Nice, slow, dynamic movements here. Again, just continuing to warm that body up. And on your next exhale, you can return that left hand and that right knee to the mat. Shake the hips from side to side. And whenever you are ready, tuck the toes under. On the inhale, come into our first downward facing dog of the practice. Walking it out here, maybe taking the legs a little wider. Trying to send those hips up towards the sky. Spreading the fingertips, spreading the fingers, pressing into all parts of the hand. Looking back at our feet, making sure we can see wrinkles in those ankles. Looking up at our hands, making sure we can see wrinkles in our wrists. Continuing to walk it out here, finding our stability. And on your next inhale, placing more weight into the left foot. On the inhale, reaching the right leg up, three-legged dog. Toes are dorsiflex, pointing down towards the mat. Hips are remaining nice and even here. Now, if you'd like to, you can open the hips up to the right side of the room by bending that right knee and allowing that right hip to fall slightly back. Taking a nice breath here, maybe taking some ankle circles. And switching directions. On your next exhale, extend that leg back to three-legged dog and place it back down on the mat. All right. Hey guys, we are experiencing a few more technical difficulties with the mic. If you'll hang tight, we are trying to get those sorted out so that we can get right back into our class. All right, you guys, so it seems like we have the mic back up and running. I believe we had just set that right foot back down and we were back in our downward facing dog. So again, just walking it out here, finding some stability. Shifting the weight over to the right side. On the inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Oops. Nice dorsiflexed foot, hips are nice and even here. If you'd like, you can open up that left hip by bending that left knee and sending that left leg slightly back. If you'd like to, maybe taking a couple ankle circles here. And switching directions. On the exhale, extend back to that three-legged dog and replace that left foot back down on the mat. Continuing to walk it out here, finding some stability. On your next exhale, gently walking the hands out to come into a high plank position. Taking a breath here, focus on breathing up into that back. Think of pressing the spine up towards the sky while maintaining somewhat of a nice sloped line in the body. Squeezing the glutes here, making sure the shoulders are nice and even over those wrists. And on the exhale, coming down to a forearm plank. If you'd like, you can interlock the fingertips here. And on the inhale, coming into our puppy pose, press through the forearms to lift the hips up. On your next exhale, coming back to a forearm plank. Again, inhale, press through the forearms to send the hips up to puppy. And exhale to forearm plank. Inhale to puppy. Exhale, forearm plank 2 more times. Inhale to puppy. Exhale, forearm plank. Last time, inhale to puppy. And holding here for 2 breaths. Pressing through those forearms. And on the exhale, coming back to that forearm plank. On the inhale, stepping up to our high plank position and moving the hips up and back into that downward facing dog. Again, walking it out here, finding that stability, whatever that means for you. And on your next exhale, bending ankles, knees, and hips, walking the hands back, coming into a nice forward fold, hinging at the hips. On every exhale, allowing that upper body to sink deeper to those legs. Maybe here grabbing a ragdoll by grabbing opposite elbows and swaying back and forth. Making sure you have a nice generous bend in the knees here. We're definitely not trying to overstretch anything, so feel free to bend those knees as much as you need to feel comfortable. Continuing to breathe here. On your next exhale, you can release those hands down, press to the feet, and inhale to sweep the arms up. Awesome job. Palms of the hands are going to come together. You can interlock your fingertips if you'd like, keeping the pointer finger and the thumb facing up. And on the exhale, coming into a side body stretch over to the right. And inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. And inhale back through center. Release the hands, allow the arms to come out into cactus bra and through the chest with a slight bend in the knee. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, moving the hands back up through center. Grabbing the hands again with those pointer finger and those thumbs pointing up towards the sky. And on the exhale, moving over to the right side body stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back through center. Release the hands, allow the arms to come out into cactus. Broaden through the chest, slight bend in the knee. And exhale to release. Awesome job. We are going to start going into our first sun salutation of the day. So coming to the top of our mats. On the inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, coming up halfway, flat back, hands to the shins. And exhale, placing the hands on the mat, stepping back to our high plank, high push-up position. On the exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, bringing the chest down to the mat. Preparing for our baby cobra, spreading the fingertips out, elbows over wrists. On the inhale, breathe into the upper back to squeeze the scapulas back. Nice little pose, neck is long, eyes are down towards the mat. And on the exhale, pushing through the knees to come back into our downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, finding some stability. On the inhale, putting more weight into the left leg, reaching the right foot up, three-legged dog. Begin to pull the knee into the chest and place it at the top of the mat in between your hands. Go ahead and drop that back left knee and inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale to bring the hands on top of the right thigh and exhale to allow yourself to sink deeper into this. Taking a few breaths here. On every exhale, allowing yourself to sink deeper, stretching out that left quad. On your next exhale, bringing both hands back down to the mat and gently send the hips back to extend the front right leg, lifting the toes up off the mat so that you're just on the heel. Coming into this hamstring stretch. Reaching towards that leg, allowing the upper body to fall a little bit closer if that's comfortable. And on the exhale, returning the foot back down to the mat, walking the hands forward to frame that foot, coming back onto our left toes, placing the left hand firmly on the mat. Inhale to reach the right arm up, coming into a lunge twist. If you'd like to challenge yourself, maybe bringing your gaze up towards the sky, up towards those right fingertips. And on the exhale, returning that right hand back down to the mat, stepping the right foot back. Exhale, Chaturanga, move through your vinyasa. Maybe this time coming up into a Cobra or a full upward facing dog with the 2 points or the 4 points of contact being the tops of the feet and the hands. On the exhale, whenever you're ready, moving back to that downward facing dog. Preparing for the same thing on the other side, more weight into the right foot. Inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. Begin to pull the knee into the chest and place it at the top of our mat. Go ahead and drop that right knee and inhale to reach the arms up. You can place those hands on the top of the left thigh if that's comfortable for you. And on every exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into this pose. On your next exhale, bringing the hands back down to the mat, shift the weight back to extend that left leg, maybe bringing the toes up off the mat, just balancing on that left heel. And on every exhale, allow your upper body to sink just a little bit closer to that leg, stretching out that hamstring. On the exhale, return that foot back down to the mat, bend that knee once again. Pop back onto those right toes. Place the right hand firmly next to the left foot. And on the inhale, reach the left arm up, coming into a nice lunge twist. Again, if you'd like to challenge yourself, maybe bringing your gaze up towards those left fingertips, up towards the sky. We are here for 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, return the hands back down to the mat. And step that left foot back, chaturanga, move through your vinyasa. And whenever you're ready, meeting back in that downward facing dog. Awesome job. Walking it out here, taking those breaths. On your next inhale, putting more weight into the left leg, reach the right foot up, three-legged dog. Bring that knee into the chest and place it at the top of the mat. Coming into that long runner's lunge. On the inhale, engage the core and begin to pull some weight out of those hands. Begin to sweep the arms up, coming into a nice crescent lunge. Reaching the arms up on the inhale, and on the exhale, allowing yourself to sink deeper into this pose. Moving into some knee touches. On the next exhale, begin to cactus the arms out as we bend to touch that left knee down to the mat. And inhale back to crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the left knee, touch the mat, cactus the arms. And inhale back to crescent lunge. 3 more times. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, knee push up. And crescent. Last time, exhale, knee touch. And crescent, nice, holding this pose. Begin to bring the right arm back, left arm forward, coming into a twisted lunge. Again, if you'd like to challenge yourself, try bringing the gaze back towards the right fingertips. Throwing off the balance just a little bit. Squeeze the right glute to even out the hips. We are here for 2 more breaths. On the next exhale, moving back through center, placing the hands back down on the mat, framing the foot, step the foot back, move through your vinyasa, chaturanga. Meeting back in that downward facing dog. Walking it out here, taking those breaths. Whenever you need to rest, that's a little bit more than a downward facing dog, feel free to take a child's pose. Moving the weight to the right foot. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, frame the foot, engage the core, pull the weight out of the hands and into the upper body. On the inhale, sweep the arms up, coming into our crescent lunge. Taking those breaths here. On the inhale, reaching up. On the exhale, sinking deeper. Engage that left glute to even out the hips. And on your next exhale, cactus the arms. Send the right knee down to the mat. Inhale back to cactus. Exhale, send the right knee down. Inhale to cactus. Or crescent. Exhale, knee down. Inhale to crescent 2 more times. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, crescent last time. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, crescent, moving into our twisted lunge. Send the left arm back, right arm forward. If you like to challenge yourself, bringing the gaze back towards those fingertips. Just challenge my balance a lot. We're here for about 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, moving back through center. Frame the foot. Step that left leg back. Exhale, chaturanga. Maybe adding in a chaturanga push-up here. And meeting back in that downward facing dog whenever you are ready. On your next exhale, begin to bend the knees slightly to send the hips back. We're going to be coming into a hovered child's pose, so not touching the mat with those knees, just bending them to hover. Exhale, extend. Again, exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back, hover above the mat. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back to hover. Taking a full breath here. And on your next exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat, coming into a child's pose. We'll be here for about 10 breaths. This is a great time to grab some water. Hopefully feeling a little warm in the body. We're going to want to maintain that. So continuing to breathe here in this nice child's pose. Bringing the forehead down to the mat. Bringing our heart rate down ever so slightly. And whenever you are ready, tucking the toes under, meeting back in a downward facing dog. Again, finding our stability here. Shifting more weight into the left leg. On the inhale, reach the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest and place it between the hands at the top of the mat. Go ahead and inner spiral the left foot by sending that left heel down to the mat. Toes come out at a 45-degree angle, kind of towards the side of the mat. On the inhale, begin to cartwheel the arms up, extending them as we sink into our warrior 2 pose, bending that front right knee. On the inhale, bring the left fingertips to the left shoulder and squeeze that thoracic spine back. Nice, straightening out. Gazing out over those right fingertips and taking a few breaths here. On your next exhale, begin to flip the right palm over so that the palm is facing up towards the ceiling. Pull the weight forward and exhale back to our peaceful warrior. Taking a breath here, breathing into the side body stretch. On your next exhale, moving back through center. Begin to flip the left palm so that it is facing up towards the ceiling. And exhale, extended side angle. Right forearm to right thigh, reaching the left arm over. Taking those breaths here. Sinking into this pose. On your next inhale, coming back up through center, we're going to be coming into our humble warrior. So taking our hands behind our back, interlocking those fingertips. And on the exhale, broadening through the chest and beginning to pull the upper body down to rest next to, not on top of, that right leg. Drop the neck. Release down. Embrace the shakiness if there is any. We are here for 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, engage the core, pull the body back up, release the hands, straighten the front right leg. Begin to heel toe the left foot forward, preparing for triangle pose. On your next inhale, extending the arms out and beginning to pull the weight forward and down, bringing that right hand to the floor, to your shin, to a block if you have one, whatever is comfortable. Extending that left arm up, trying to open the shoulders up towards the side of the room, broadening through the chest here. Allowing yourself to breathe into this pose. On your next inhale, bending the front knee to pull the body back up, releasing the hands, cartwheeling the arms down, coming back onto those left toes, stepping the right foot back, chaturanga, move through your vinyasa. Finding some stability here, taking a few restful breaths, shifting the weight over to the right side. Inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest. Go ahead and inner spiral that back heel so that the toes are facing at a 45-degree angle towards the side of the mat. And inhale to cartwheel the arms up, coming into our warrior two. Again, twisting the thoracic spine, we're going to bring the right fingertips to rest on the right shoulder. Squeeze the scapula back to twist through the thoracic spine. Gaze out over those front left fingertips. Just find a few moments of stillness here. Preparing to come into peaceful warrior, begin to flip the left arm over so that the palm is facing up towards the sky. Bring the weight forward and exhale to come back into our peaceful warrior. Stretching out that left side, not forgetting to sink into that front left leg. On your next exhale, coming back through center, preparing for our extended side angle by flipping the back right hand, and exhale to pull that arm over as we bring the left forearm down to that left thigh. Breathing into this twist here. Inhale to pull the body back up, preparing for our extended side angle. Bring the hands behind the back and interlock the fingertips. On your next exhale, broadening through the chest, begin to pull the upper body down right next to that left leg. Release the neck. Again, embrace any kind of shakiness here. Truly release into this pose. It's called Humble Warrior for a reason. Not just for the bow, but because it humbles us all, because it's very difficult. On your next inhale, engage the core to lift the body back up. Release the hands. Extend the front left leg. Heel toe the back foot up just a little to prepare for our triangle. On the inhale, bring the arms out. And on the exhale, pull the weight forward and down, resting that right hand on your shin, on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you. Just trying to stack the shoulders on top of each other, opening the chest up to the side of the room. We want that right arm reaching right up into the sky. If you feel like your right shoulder is coming forward, try just coming up in your triangle pose. It's really not about how far down you can go. It's about keeping that nice open chest. On your next inhale, bending the front knee to come back up, bringing the hands down to frame the butt, twist the foot, twisting those right toes up, and exhale, moving through your vinyasa. Taking those breaths here. Shifting weight into the left foot. On the inhale, reach the right leg up, three-legged dog. Inhale, knee to chest, placing the foot in between the hands. Coming into crescent, engage the core, pull the weight up, and sweep the arms up into our crescent lunge. We are going to be preparing to come into our warrior three. So on the inhale, bringing the hands down over the chest, begin to shift the weight forward to extend that front right leg. Back left leg's toes are just resting on the mat. On the exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, creating a nice long line from the head all the way down to the bottom of the foot. Toes are dorsiflex, hips are even, left toes are pointing down towards the mat. We're here for 2 more breaths. Now on the exhale, we're not going to put that left leg back down on the mat. We're just going to hinge at the hips and pull that left knee up. Awesome job. Holding it here. If you'd like, you can take your hands and extend that leg out, or you can keep it with that nice bent knee, whatever is comfortable for you. On the exhale, begin to bring that left leg out towards the side of the body. Again, if it's comfortable, you can have that leg extended. And on your next exhale, we're going to place that left leg anywhere on the leg for tree. So it can be up above the knee, below, resting on the shin, toes down on the mat, whatever is comfortable for you, just making sure we're not putting any weight on that standing leg knee. On the inhale, bringing the arms out to the side, taking a breath here, finding a spot to focus on. And on the exhale, tilting towards the leg, the knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, tilting towards the right. Inhale back to center. Awesome job playing around with that balance. Again, inhale, tilting towards the knee, tilting towards the left. Inhale back to center. One more time. Exhale, tilting towards the right. And inhale back through center. Awesome job. Release that leg. Not a moment too soon. Coming to the top of our mat. On the inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, coming into a chair pose. Taking a breath here. Maybe bringing your hands over your chest to prepare for a chair twist. On the exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. Begin to twist towards the right side of the room, bringing the right elbow up into the sky. The left elbow pointing down towards the mat. Exhale to sink a little bit deeper to bring that left elbow down to that left or that right thigh. Look down at your knees. You want to make sure they are nice and even. Continuing to squeeze the glutes here, squeeze into this chair. And on your next exhale, begin to pull more weight into the right foot to gently begin to pull that left leg up towards the glutes. Exhale to send it back down on the mat. Nice job. Release the hands, frame the foot, step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Move through your vinyasa. And downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lifting the left leg up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, place it at the top of your mat. Engage the core. Inhale to reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Taking a breath here. Preparing for that warrior three. Exhale, hands come down to the chest. Inhale, shift the weight forward. And gently hinge at the hips to pull that right leg up. Again, nice straight line from the top of the head all the way down. Taking 2 more breaths here. On your next exhale, hinging again, but not setting that foot down on the mat, pulling the knee up. Nice job. Again, don't forget you can take that extension here, doing whatever feels good for your body in this moment. On your next exhale, begin to pull that right foot out towards the side. Definitely playing around with our balance today. And whenever you're ready, placing that right foot anywhere on the left for tree, making sure not to put any weight onto that standing knee. On the inhale, arms come out. Exhale to tilt towards the right leg. And inhale back to center. Exhale, tilt towards the left. And inhale back to center. Exhale, tilt to the right. Inhale back to center. And exhale last time to the left. Inhale back to center. Awesome job. Feet come together, release down on the inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale to chair. Preparing to tilt or twist towards the left side of the room. Bring the hands down over the chest and sink a little bit deeper. On the exhale, twisting towards the left. Left elbow goes up, right elbow points down. Sink a little bit deeper to bring that right elbow to that left thigh. Looking down at the knees, making sure they're nice and even, one's not protruding in front of the other. Squeezing the glutes here, and allowing yourself to sink deeper into this twist. On your next exhale, shifting the weight into the left leg. On the inhale, beginning to pull that right heel towards that right glute. And exhale, extending the leg back, hands frame the foot. Exhale, chaturanga, move through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. On the inhale, reach the right leg up. Pull the knee to the chest, and this time place it on the outside edge of your mat so that the hands are inward of that foot. Release that left knee down, coming into our lizard pose. So if this is comfortable, feel free to hang out here, or if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can come down onto your forearms. Wherever you are, releasing into this pose, trying not to let that knee fall to the side, trying to keep it nice and pointed towards the sky. We are here for about 5 more breaths. If you are on your forearms, gently beginning to walk up onto the palm of your hands, and we are going to heel toe this right leg across the mat, preparing to come into pigeon. So laying that shin down on the mat on the exhale, maybe coming down onto the forearms if that's comfortable for you, or resting your forehead on the mat. Stretching out that right leg. We are here for about 5 more breaths. On your next inhale, beginning to walk back up, popping onto the back left toes and pulling this right leg back to our downward facing dog. Taking a breath here and preparing for that same thing on the left side. Inhale to lift the left leg up. Pull the knee into the chest and place it on the edge of the mat. Release the right knee down. If you're comfortable, feel free to stay here or come down onto the forearms. Again, trying not to let that leg fall out to the side or in, trying to keep it nice and pointed towards the ceiling. But of course, making sure you're in a nice, comfortable position here. It can feel really good to pull the body up if coming down onto the forearms is too intense. Taking our final breaths in this pose. If you're on your forearms, walking back onto the palm of your hands, preparing to come into pigeon by heel toeing that left foot over. Releasing that shin to the mat and coming down to the mat in whatever way is comfortable for you, maybe on the palms of your hands, maybe on your forearms, maybe releasing your forehead down to rest on the hands or on the mat. Wherever you are, releasing for about 5 more breaths. On your next inhale, beginning to walk yourself back up once again. This time, instead of coming into downward facing dog, we are just going to roll on to the left side to swing the legs around to the right. Nice job. A few more poses before we come into our Savasana. Coming into our dynamic boat pose, we're going to have our feet flat on the floor, knees pointed up towards the sky. We're going to try and squeeze the thighs and the knees together. Hands can start by your side in order to support the spine, trying to keep a nice straight back. And on the inhale, begin to lift the knees up, coming into our boat pose. We're not going to extend all the way in this pose. We're going to keep our knees nice and bent. And if your hands are comfortable, they can stay here or they can come up next to the legs. Now on the exhale, gently begin to extend the body to hover above the mat. And inhale back to boat. Exhale again, extend the body, hover above the mat. And inhale to boat. 3 more times. Exhale, extend and hover. Inhale back to boat. Exhale, extend and hover. And inhale, back to boat. Last time, exhale, extend and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Awesome job. Moving into some more glute activation poses. On the exhale, begin to pull the heels up so that the feet are flat on the floor, knees pointed up towards the sky. Hands can be next to your sides. Begin to dynamically pull the thighs in towards each other, and on your next inhale, squeeze the glutes to lift the hips up off the mat. Continuing to squeeze here, continuing to breathe into the body, not letting those knees go astray towards the side. Again, trying to squeeze those thighs in towards each other. On your next exhale, release the hips back down to the mat. Again, inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. Pull the thighs towards each other. Continue to squeeze here. Continue to breathe, keeping a nice soft belly. And exhale, release. Again, inhale, squeeze and lift the hips. And exhale to release. This time we will be coming into a slightly bound bridge. On your next inhale, begin to lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes, interlock the fingers behind the back. And on your next inhale, walk the shoulder blades closer to each other to broaden through the chest. Here, it's really important to remember to squeeze in towards the midline, squeeze the thighs together, continuing to squeeze through the glutes, giving the body a little bit more until on the exhale we release, coming all the way down to the mat. Nice job. Legs can extend. And maybe just begin to wiggle the legs a little, allowing them to go from side to side. On your next inhale, begin to pull the right leg up, giving it a little squeeze. Moving into a supine twist. On the exhale, begin to bring the knee over the midline, over towards that left side. Arms can extend out. Gaze coming over to those right fingertips. Taking a few breaths here. Allowing yourself to thoroughly release into this pose. On your next inhale, begin to pull that right knee back into the chest, giving it a little hug, and then on the exhale, sending it down to the mat. Doing the same thing on the other side. On the inhale, begin to pull the left knee into the chest, giving it a little hug, and moving into our supine twist, crossing that leg over the body, crossing through the midline, extending the legs out, or the arms out, and maybe bringing the gaze over towards those left fingertips. Again, allowing yourself to release completely and bringing your attention back to the breath. On your next inhale, pulling that left knee back into the chest, and this time pulling the right knee in as well, hugging both knees into the chest, maybe rocking side to side, massaging the lower back. If it's comfortable, maybe bringing your feet overhead, coming into a happy baby, grabbing the big toe or the outside of the foot, and continuing to rock side to side. Stretching any part of the body that needs to be activated. And on your next exhale, releasing the feet down, releasing the hands by your side, and coming into Savasana, or our final resting pose. Moving through a little bit of breath work before we end our class. Coming into 10 counted breaths. On your next exhale, release completely. And begin to inhale 1. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale 7. Exhale 7. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Inhale 9. Exhale 9. Inhale 10. And exhale 10. Allow yourself to completely be consumed by the breath, and allow your body to completely sink into the mat. I encourage you, if you have time, to stay in the Savasana for the next 5 or 10 minutes, allowing your eyes to close, your mind to soften, maybe counting breaths to deepen your meditation. On your next exhale, rolling onto your favorite side and resting your head in your hands. Keeping the top leg heavy and using as little energy as possible. Begin to press yourself up into a seated position, bringing your head up last. On the inhale, reaching the arms up, bringing the palms together and lowering them to rest over your heart. Namaste. All right, you guys, that is all we have for our Power Yoga class today. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for being patient with our technical difficulties. If